What's going on, everybody? You're listening to Sports and That podcast right now, joined as always by my boy Lucas and my boy Chance.
Going on?
And as you can see, we're mixing up a little bit. We got a video feed this time. That way you can see whenever we give each other weird-ass looks. You guys can see it from our perspective. You can see Lucas's sweet streaming setup that he got going on there. You can see Chance's prized high school football uniforms.
Oh, yeah.
And you can
so
see
prized.
my beautiful artwork. That's just a Game Informer magazine clips. Be jealous, people. So while we were away in our couple days off, a big trade happened in the NBA.
Huge
James
trade.
Harden, the strip club master of Houston, he's out. He's now in Brooklyn, in New York City. The chunk master himself, James Harden, is now on the Brooklyn Nets with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Trade details: the Nets got James Harden. Rockets got Victor Oladipo from the Pacers, Dante Exum from the Cavs, some other dude from the Brooklyn Nets. I can't pronounce the last name, so I'm not even going to try. 3 Brooklyn first-round picks unprotected, 1 Milwaukee first-round pick unprotected, and then 4 Brooklyn first-round pick swaps. The Pacers got Chris LeVert and a second-rounder from Brooklyn, and the Cavs got Jarrett Allen and Taurean Prince. Gotta love the NBA.
Gotta love it.
Off, the NBA doesn't make any sense. That
No.
trade doesn't make any sense. There are so many pieces. Like, no one's keeping track of them all. There's no way anyone can keep track of them all.
Did you say the one pick is in like 2029 or some shit?
Yeah, so the way it works,
Yeah. So the one pick is literally in 2029. I saw.
in the NBA is you can't trade. So ironically, before what happened with Brooklyn was they traded for Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce from the Celtics, and they traded I think all of their first round picks for 4 or 5 years unprotected.
Yeah.
And they sucked because Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce got old. So pretty much they made a rule where you can't trade consecutive first round picks back to back. So the loophole behind it is you can do pick swaps. And so pick swap, all that pretty much is that if you're the Rockets and you have a better record and therefore a worse draft pick than the Nets, in those years you can just swap your first round pick. And pretty much it's just a way where teams who don't have as much assets like the Nets because they're in competing, they can just literally empty their cupboard of just picks. And this is pretty much the result that happens.
Fucking
great.
crazy, man. It's absolutely insane. You don't have that
See,
shit in
this-
any other sport. How
How
many
do
teams
you-
were involved? Wait, hold on, Lucas. How many teams were involved in this shit?
4 teams.
That's absolutely insane to me. Does one GM just call up how does this trade even start? You just call up your buddy, you're like, hey man, you want to trade this and this, and he's like, yeah, but only if you call up old Bob over there and bumfuck Egypt and tell him to throw in some of his shit. So you call up old Bob and he's like, yeah, but let's get Steve in on this too,
Yeah, how do you get that third round in 6 years away? How does that even come up? I'm like, that trade sounds good, but how about I get that guy who's 13 years old right now?
Yeah, why the fuck would you want that? I just don't get it.
Well, because essentially you're betting, and I think Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving are 29, 31, and 32. So essentially you're betting that in 8 years, whenever Kevin Durant's 40, James Harden probably had a heart attack from all this strip club chicken wings that he ate. And Kyrie might actually at that point just be he just might vanish off the face of the earth for how just out there he is right now. So then you're hoping that the Brooklyn Nets suck ass because they've just all their superstars just left. So then those picks become really good. That's why you do a trade where you trade for a 13-year-old right now for James Harden.
Hey man, the
the
Nets might win it all.
Well, and the other thing, how you were saying about how do these other teams get involved. So for the Pacers, they got involved because Victor Oladipo, who was an all-star a couple years ago, he got injured last year, was out for multiple weeks. Or no, I think it actually ended his season halfway through it. He's a free agent. So now they're in a place where either they got to pay him or they got to let him walk. So what they did was they traded him for Chris LeVert, who's under contract for a couple more years. He's an okay player. I mean, he's pretty good. I'd be happy to have him on the Cavs. So they did that for that reason. And then the Cavs, which they had the first round pick from the Bucks that went to the Rockets. They traded with the Nets because Jared Allen is a young upcoming center, and their current center, Andre Drummond, he's going to be a free agent this year, and it sucks if you have to pay a center like $25 million a year in this league. So essentially what happens is these other teams on the fringes, aka the Cavs and the Pacers, they come in and they say, hey, we can offer up a first-round pick, and we'll take some salary cap, and we'll take, like, this good player. Or, the Pacers, they do that swap, so that way now the Rockets get a better player in Oladipo. And so that's kind of how these fringe teams get involved. But, dude, it's crazy. I've seen some trades where it's like 3 days later, the trade will still be going on and teams will still be added. So there will literally be shit where it's like a trade happens and a team calls up, they're like, hey, can I get in on this shit? I'll offer like a pick for this person. And it just happens.
How do you even think this is going to go? How is it even possible to have these 3 players together?
Well, so everyone always says that, like, there's only one ball.
One ball.
There's one ball, and here's the problem. Kevin Durant's the best player on this team.
I agree.
Second best player is probably James Harden, with Kyrie being third.
Don't forget about my man DeAndre.
Can you even say Kyrie is on this team anymore? Like,
well, so for those of you who don't know, Kyrie just like left 2 weeks ago and like has just like left the team. Like he's just like, hey, I'm out for personal reasons, and has been gone for the past 2 weeks. And so now he's apparently coming back after he passes his COVID test. But I think what's going to happen is I think Kevin Durant's still going to be the best player, and he's still going to be the dominant one. I don't think he's going to have nearly as much ball control with James Harden and Kyrie Irving. I think it'll be more that since he's such a good scorer and he can just kind of spot up and shoot, that he's used to playing in Golden State where he had 2 other superstars that he was kind of dealing with. So I think he'll be better at it. I think for me it's more between Kyrie Irving and James Harden, where it's, are they going to do the, hey, I'm going to dribble up, then you're going to dribble up kind of deal where they just swap back and forth? Go ahead.
I think Harden has proven already that he can't work with anybody. Like, what makes anyone think on the Brooklyn staff that he's going to actually commit for their team? Like, they've done whatever they can for him in Houston. They brought in Chris Paul, didn't work out. They brought in Russell Westbrook, didn't work out.
John Wall didn't work out.
They had Dwight Howard back whenever Dwight Howard was a star.
Yeah, and this is all on Harden's request, pretty much. So I don't think he's going to commit to the Brooklyn Nets at all.
And so that's. Go ahead, Chance. Go ahead.
Linsanity, wasn't he a member of the Houston Rockets for a little bit?
Well, Linsanity was in New York. He might have been on the Rockets.
Dude, he played for the Shanghai Knights last year, fucking Chinese basketball league.
Oh, I thought you were
Dude,
talking about that
MVP.
Overwatch team.
But so that's kind of the problem, and we can look at, I guess, on a more broad range, like for all sports, like the Rockets literally did everything they could to help James Harden win a championship in Houston.
Right.
And so it kind of it puts the Rockets in a weird situation where it's like, look, we gave you everything, and he disappeared in a lot of playoff games. I know there was a game against the Spurs where he pretty much was benched in the fourth quarter because he was playing that bad. I think he shot the ball like 10 times that game, which is like not even right for James Harden.
Yeah, that's unheard of. He usually shoots at about 50.
So, and that's what, like with these franchises, and I'm not even just talking basketball at this point. I mean all sports, because you kind of have the same thing now going on with the other Houston team and Deshaun Watson, where it's like you have a superstar who doesn't want to be there. They want out. So it's like, what do? Do you just let him out? Do you just say, hey, no, we're going to keep you because we have you for contract? Or do you just try to get what you can and just cut loose and go from there? And it seems like what the Rockets did was they said, hey, he doesn't want to be here. He's going to keep going to titty bars all the time and eating just whatever chicken wings and drinking beers in Vegas and shit like that. So he can go. He's out.
Would you rather have a team like the Nets, the super team type with 3 stars, or the other team in the East with 1 star, the Bucks? What do you think's better for the team?
Well, for the team, it's the superstars, but for the league, so what was nice last year was there was almost like a rule of twos, where you had Kawhi and Paul George, you had LeBron and Anthony Davis, you had Kevin Durant and Kyrie, you had James Harden with Russell Westbrook. You had like all these twos everywhere. And that was kind of interesting because it was like, okay, now there's no team that's fully stacked.
Right.
But now with this Brooklyn thing, I mean, everyone still wants to wait and see what happens. But I know that Kevin Durant can put up 30 points in his sleep. I know James Harden can put up 30 points in his sleep. I know
Not this
Kyrie Irving
season.
can put up.
He's only averaging
What?
like 15.
Who?
Harden.
Well, dude, that's because he's fat and eating chicken
It's
and
like
watching
300
titties
pounds,
every night.
bro.
So what do you want from him?
I'm just saying.
I'm telling you. And plus, I think it was also partly he didn't want to be there. So he's like, I'm going to play like shit. That way you almost have to trade me.
But
Yeah.
don't you think that the Rockets fucked up by not trading him earlier, like in letting him show up fat as fuck and not giving a shit? Like he basically tanked his value on purpose.
I still think they got what, like 4 picks.
But
Or
like
first round?
they thought that they could make it work for some reason for like that short period of time. They're like, oh yeah, let's
Yeah, that's
trade
true.
for John Wall and like that'll make him happy. He'll definitely show up like ready to go. Like if I was the Rockets, I would have traded him like at the end of the COVID Cup. You know what I mean? Like I would have been like, you know, you don't want to be here. Fuck it, let's get rid of you while
Yeah.
your value is the highest.
I like that COVID Cup. I like that.
Oh yeah.
But
like
I
that.
think, and this is with the NBA more than any other, I guess, professional sports team. There's 5 people on the court at once. So I mean, besides maybe besides the quarterback in football, one person can have the biggest impact on the sport. James Harden, no matter what, he is a top 5 player in the league.
Oh, without a doubt.
Those people don't just grow on trees. You can't have. He pretty much by himself is like a top 10 offense in the NBA, just by himself, doing whatever the hell he
Definitely.
does.
He scores
And it's
half of like most teams' total points every night.
And it's a bit
Exactly.
of that OKC reunion.
Just get Westbrook in. I think he's injured now, actually, but he has such a horrible contract. No one wants him either. That's the problem. Is that the wall for the Westbrook trade? That was just, hey, you have a bad contract, I have a bad contract. Let's flip it and see what happens.
I'm interested to see how it goes for the Nets, though, because I do
I
like
am
KD.
Yeah, I think there's still a couple more. Like I know Kyrie has to pass COVID protocol, and I don't know if James Harden has to or if he can just get right into it. But I think probably hopefully by the next podcast, they would have played together. And we can see how good they're. Who knows? Maybe they'll just fight each other at half court for the ball.
You think they're gonna go to
That's
a
what I
strip
wanna see.
club and get some wings, you know, and team bond a little bit before the game?
Well, I mean, I don't know how else you bond as a millionaire in Brooklyn. I would just imagine it's just
Look at
titty bars
titties and
left and
sucking
right.
on wings. That's what you do.
Exactly.
I
I mean, what else is there to do?
that would be my lifestyle.
And especially whenever you add in the luscious beard, where like little chicken wing bits
Oh.
get stuck in there
Save
That
it
you're in
for
the middle
later,
of-
dude.
of Euro stepping people, and you just get a nice little.
Dude, he
bite
probably
there.
has one
That's what I'm
like
talking
tucked underneath, you know, like TV timeout. He just pulls it out and he just nibbles
Pulls a
on it a
full
little bit.
chicken wing.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
Just pulls out a hole.
perfect amount of
Dipping
sauce on it
sauce.
too. But there's like nothing on him. It's just like perfectly in his hair, you know.
Hey, that'd be. I mean, who wouldn't want that?
That's the dream right there.
I would never eat a Harden wing.
You wouldn't have a
Beard
wing
wing.
out of Harden's beard if he offered you one,
Dude. Only if it's
Dude, what?
splashed with some of his fucking soup.
bro.
What? But if you were ever at a party and someone pulled a wing out of their beard, who would it have to be for you to eat that wing, Lucas?
What if I
What
pulled
person
one
would have
out
to have
of
a beard?
my beard? What if it was as big as Harden's and I pulled it out of my beard? Would you eat that wing?
I would eat a Shrek's beard wing, maybe an Evans beard wing. Tyler, you got a pretty luscious beard too. You know what? I've turned around. I'm committing to beard wings. I'm full.
Yes.
I don't see the
Just to-
downfall.
I can't. Yeah, I
I'm-
can't think of it. As I talk my way through it, I'm like, man, that sounds good.
I mean, how could you say no to it? You know, because you know it's kept at the perfect body temperature too.
Oh yeah, 180 degrees Celsius.
Celsius. What the fuck?
Celsius, bro.
Smoke.
Pretty sure
boy.
that thing would just be disintegrated.
You don't want to put that in your mouth right away.
You gotta let it. Well, that's why you put it in the ranch. Let it cool down.
Yeah,
some.
definitely. This is definitely a ranch type of wing.
All right, we got a little off track there.
That's the
Yeah,
inat.
so
though.
Yes. Well,
That
what
is
you
true.
get.
That is the inat.
That's the inat.
So Harden is now in Brooklyn. We're gonna wait and see what happens. Other bigger events going on this weekend. Divisional round of NFL playoffs.
Super divisional round.
Dun, 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 dun.
We're going to get into it. The first game on the docket. Let me pull up my sheet.
It is
The
the
Rams-
Rams versus the Packers. I got you, Tyler.
Thank you.
You got to be
Thank
quicker
you.
on the draw. Than
Up in
that.
frosty
my
Lambeau.
So the Rams, at least what I got right now, the Packers are -6.5 favorites with the over set at 45.5.
So if
Gambling aside,
I think we'll just do an initial gut reaction pick right off the bat. Each one of us. I'm taking Packers in the under. Shrek.
I'll take the Packers and the under as well. I definitely do not think the Rams are going to score a lot of points. If Goff plays, his finger is still fucked, so I better hope they can run the ball.
Tyler, gut reaction.
I'm going to go edgy pick, and I'm going to pick that the Rams are going to cover.
Ooh.
They're not going to win, but they're going to cover.
6.5 is a lot of points, but the cold
And
weather
especially
is
if you're
throwing me
betting the
off.
under, because I like the under too. So I'm going to go 6.5 in the under. That's what I like for this game.
Yeah.
Okay, but I do think the Packers are going to win this game. I think the fact that Aaron Darnold might be a little bit injured. I don't know if it officially came out yet. Shrek, do you know?
I heard he's playing, without a doubt.
Blake
Okay,
Bortles
so-
is active. Blake Bortles is active, so
Yeah,
who knows? Wild
Blake
card.
Bortles could come in for some plays. Get a little running on there going.
Well, Thank God the Steelers aren't playing. Otherwise, we'd be fucked.
Don't even talk about that.
But
Who?
I think, I think the Packers though. I just think they're too good. Like Aaron Rodgers is just on a tear this season.
Oh, I agree. Aaron Rodgers, but you got to think about this. His number one weapon is going to be completely locked down by Jalen Ramsey on the other side. So he's going to have to throw to the other stooges on his offense. So you think that the other stooges are going to be able to step up?
I would think so. I mean, their running back Jones. I mean, he's a fucking monster. Dude.
Oh, I agree.
And
Aaron Jones is good.
it's gonna be snowy. It's gonna be the Lambeau Field. It's gonna be fucking cold. You're running the football. That's how it's gonna go. It's gonna be an Aaron Jones game. It's not gonna be an Aaron Rodgers game.
I would hope so. That would be the smart thing.
I still think Rodgers is going to show up. I mean, this is just his game. This is cold weather Rodgers football. This is when he proves all the haters wrong.
Silence is
Well, it also won't look good if Rodgers wins the MVP and gets bounced in the first round by a quarterback who has fucking titanium rods in his thumb right now. That would not be a good look for him.
Battle of the Southern Cowboys.
The Packers would have to draft another quarterback. Think about that. That's what they're probably going to keep doing just for the rest of the time that Aaron Rodgers plays. They're just going to keep drafting quarterbacks in the first round.
How many quarterbacks do you think it would take for him to beat Brady for the all-time GOAT status?
How many quarterbacks? I would
Yeah.
think the Packers would have to draft. How old is Aaron Rodgers? Do you guys know?
He's like 36 or 37, I think I saw.
Okay, so, I mean, if you draft another 5 quarterbacks in the first round, I mean, that's 5 more years of MVP Aaron Rodgers. Are we assuming he's winning half those Super Bowls?
At least 2.
Because here's how it would play into. Everyone would say Brady had Belichick, and everyone would say Aaron Rodgers had fat Mike McCarthy, who took the fucking Cowboys and just completely wrecked them. So it would help for him because I think people already try to say that Aaron Rodgers is like the GOAT quarterback just purely off of ability and stuff like that. So if that's the case, 5 quarterbacks. That's what I'm picking. 5 quarterbacks have to be drafted.
I
think whoever leads at halftime is going to be the winner of the game. Because keep in mind that the Rams have never lost after leading at halftime. Ever. 37-0.
So what about
Well,
this?
since McVay, I mean. Obviously.
Halftime of the game, they're going to have a blood sacrifice, and Jordan Love is going to be slaughtered like a lamb. And Aaron
Rodgers is going
Aaron Rodgers is going to slurp his blood up, and he's going to come out in the second half and break the playoff touchdown record for most passing touchdowns this week.
He has
I mean,
set franchise records for touchdown passes this year and completion percentage. Like, he's on a tear.
I feel like he wants to light up Jalen Ramsey. He wants to shut that guy up. Shut him up.
Yeah, but do you think they're going to do the force thing that kind of like where you just try to force it to Devontae Adams just to prove that he's
Eh.
like one of the best.
I think they're gonna try and
And
move
then
him around to get him away from Jalen Ramsey. Do like some motion type of shit, move him across the field. Rogers
yeah, but if
sees
they're just playing man coverage, what does it matter though?
maybe set
Because won't
set
Ramsey
some
just follow him
picks,
around?
bro. Get old Bob Tunyon, the tight end, out there to stand in the way and let Ramsey run right into his big ass. Whom? Devontae Adams, wide open touchdown. Mark it.
Yeah, I think the Packers are going to win it, but I think the Rams just have such a good defense that it's going to be a close game. That's why I like the Rams plus 6.5 and the under.
It's going to be entertaining, so we can at least count on that.
All right, next game we got the Ravens at Bills.
Arguably
In
game
Buffalo.
of the weekend.
It definitely has potential to be game of the weekend. Now I think both quarterbacks drafted in the same round, right?
Oh yeah.
So see, you got that. So who's going to be the big up and coming quarterback that isn't Mahomes? That's on the line. Are the Ravens actually legit, or is that just a complete just choke job by the Titans to let the Ravens win? There's a lot going into this game.
Definitely.
Gut reaction. I like the Bills money line and the over.
Did you give us a line?
Yeah, I didn't hear.
Oh,
a
I'm
lot.
sorry. It was Bills minus 2.5. Over under at 49.
I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I'd honestly take the Ravens and the over in this game.
I'm taking the Bills in the over, just because I'm such a Josh Allen guy. He's just so fun. Just reminds me of just Ben just throwing the ball, chucking it
No,
downfield.
he's definitely fun. My thing with Josh Allen, though, he's good for like one or two stupid plays a game where he just
Oh yeah, for sure.
fumbles the ball or just like throws it right into like tight coverage for an interception. At least once a game, which is like he does the same shit multiple
And
times a
it
game.
could be. It has definitely caused them to lose games in the past, and if it happened in playoffs, that would be tragic because he does panic in those moments.
And the Ravens defense have been like a turnover machine in the past couple weeks. Last week they picked off Tannehill a couple times, got that last interception to seal the game, and then stomp on the logo. So who knows?
Well, and I think, and this is obviously way easier said than done. I mean, I think it just comes down to, can the Bills stop the Ravens running? Can you stop Lamar Jackson from breaking off 10, 15-yard runs? If you can do that and you make Lamar Jackson a pocket passer, I think then the Bills run away with this game.
And that's what
But
that's what really scares me, because last week the Colts were running all over them, and the Colts aren't really a built to run team. They're more of a balanced team, I'd say. But like the Ravens, they run it with like three different people. They got Lamar, they got Dobbins, and they got that Gus Edwards, Gus the Bus.
Well, the Colts had Phil Rivers, and Phil Rivers just has to keep games close. That way he can blow it in the fourth quarter. So that was actually more of a Phil Rivers thing than it was a Colts thing.
He's just thinking about draining his seed at the end of the game.
He was trying for kid number 12.
Fertilization.
I think Stephon Diggs is too good for anyone on the Ravens, but like you said, with the Ravens run game, as long as the Bills can even just manage that, I think they'll be able to squeeze out enough points.
I think this game comes down to the turnovers. Whoever has the least amount of turnovers wins.
I agree.
See, I could also see this being one of the games where it's just who has the ball last. Whoever has the ball last, that's who wins pretty much. Just because the other team, I could just see both teams just scoring the entire time.
Definitely.
All right, so Chance, you got the Ravens. Me and Luke's got the Bills then, pretty much, right?
And we're all taking the over, right?
Yep. Points.
Definitely, I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I think there's going to be
So-
fans in the stands, too, old Bills Mafia, so...
So does that mean that we're all going to fade for the under because we're all taking the over right now?
No, dude, we're all gonna hit it.
Is
We're
it
all
too
gonna
obvious?
celebrate, bro.
What'd you say it was, 49?
These are all too obvious.
Dude,
The under in
49.
the last game's way too obvious. The over in this one's way too obvious.
So we're going to flip it. We're going to bet the over, and then we're going to bet the under. and
No,
it'll hit.
because then if we lose it, then we'll never live ourselves down, bro. Trust me, this is the fucking circle that goes in the head all the time. We
Just going to
gotta
stick with
ride
your
the over.
first initial gut reaction, and that is the over. That's
And
what
after
I'm
that,
going
I
with.
just root for what I want to see. So I want to see points.
Yeah.
Okay, so points. Beautiful, beautiful points. All right.
Life's too short to bet the under.
That is true. So starting Sunday at 3:05, it's the Browns at Chiefs. Chiefs are -10 favorites with the over being at 57.
Gut reaction.
Jeez.
Browns. Too many points. They are going to cover. Chiefs
Dude,
never cover the spread.
Yeah, the Chiefs have not covered it all this season. So I think, but then again, this is one of those games where like
It's too obvious.
Listen, Pat Mahomes could come out and literally just be like, "Oh, I wasn't trying in the regular season," and throw like 3 touchdowns in the first quarter, and the Browns be down 21-0, and they're fucked.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Well, and that's what it might just be. It's that everyone's been hearing about how everyone just talks. Everyone's been talking about the Bills. Everyone's been talking about the Saints, the Bucks, all these other teams. No one's been talking about the Chiefs. They're gonna come out, and I could literally just see them just fucking going as hard as they can, just to beat up on the Browns and be like, "Yeah, we were actually just cruising in the regular season. Now it's the playoffs, and now we're just putting points on you."
It's so
Definitely.
easy to see that happening.
Definitely.
That being said, though, 10 points is a lot of fucking points, boys.
I agree,
Yeah,
man.
dude, I think the Browns can definitely pull it off.
If they play like they did, granted they got lucky with a few turnovers against a team that should not be named, but if they play like they did, they have been the past few weeks even, they can cover. I don't know if they can win.
No,
'cause
I'm not saying no way. When I meant that they can do it, I did not mean they could win, but they
Yeah,
can
I'm just-
definitely cover at +10.
Like, it's
That's
just so
definitely
hard.
doable.
So hard to picture Patrick Mahomes losing football. I can't see it.
I've never seen it in my life.
Maybe
Well,
less
and
than 5 times.
Do you see the Chiefs giving up the ball 5 times? I don't.
No, so they don't. I'm curious what their running game is going to be like because the Clyde Edwards-Helaire guy, the rookie running back's hurt. So I'm pretty sure Le'Veon Bell is going to be the starter. So
The GOAT.
we'll see what he does. He didn't do shit for my fantasy team, so fuck him. But yeah, we'll see.
How high did you draft him?
I think I got him in like the 4th round, and I was like, just
Huh.
because I thought like the Jets would work him, and then like
That's way too high.
and then they literally didn't do anything.
I think I picked his ass up either off the free agency list or I got him in like the 8th round or something like that. And he didn't do shit. We don't talk about fantasy football in this podcast.
I won my work league.
No one gives a
so
fuck about your
I
fantasy
I was
football.
1 for 3 this season.
That's not bad.
Yeah, no, I got my ass beat. But the Chiefs are not going to get their ass beat. There's no way the
definitely
Chiefs lose this. The Browns are not the team of destiny. They're losing. Chiefs are winning. Let's just keep it at that.
I agree. Moving on.
Yep.
So this is what I think will be the game of the weekend. It's in the primetime spot. Actually, it's 6:40 on a Sunday. That is a weird fucking time. It's the Bucks at Saints.
Gut reaction.
Saints
Under.
-3, over 52.
Under. Under. I don't have a team. Under. I'm going to pick a team after we talk about it.
Wait, what was the spread on this one?
-3 for Saints.
50
Yeah,
points.
I would take an alternate spread on this. Saints -6.
Ooh.
Yeah, honestly, probably be like at least plus like 180 or something.
Now, Chance, can I say to you, it's hard to beat a team 3 times.
See,
in the NFL.
no, this is a proven myth because I saw these statistics on ESPN today, and in fact, in the scenario or like in all the situations in the past or since the NFL's formed, teams that have played 3 times after beating your divisional opponent twice already are 14-7, which is a 66% winning percentage.
Do the math, bro. Yep. That means hammer the Saints.
But, like I was saying last week, it's the Saints.
The Saints literally
And they
did it.
Always
Dude,
fuck it up.
The Saints literally did it 2 years ago when they beat the Panthers 3 times in the season. They literally destroyed Cam Newton's career. They beat him in the playoffs so bad, and then next year he didn't do shit, and then he got cut. And then we all
They
know what
also
happened this
get back their defensive end, Trey Hendrickson, who
They-
has 25 tackles and 13 and a half sacks this year.
Yeah,
That's a
I
big
literally think
piece.
they have the best defense in the NFL. Like, no, I'm not talking as a fanboy. I'm literally, they kept against the Bears. Mitch Trubisky, I know he's shitty, but he literally had 100 passing yards until the final drive of the game.
Chance, just do me a favor real quick.
Yes.
Look directly at your camera. And then look down. Yeah, okay. Enough said on that one. Enough said on that one. I don't even have to say anything.
Look,
What do you do?
I told you I'm not speaking as a fanboy. I literally the Saints look at the two games. They dominated the Bucks, man. It wasn't like a close game in either one. They literally destroyed them.
It's true, man.
The Saints defensive line is literally as good as the Steelers, and Tom Brady's weakness is pressure up the middle. And
Yeah, and the fucking Steelers defensive line couldn't even fucking touch Baker
Saints'
Mayfield.
weakness is Drew Brees, I think, at the moment, only because he's injured. So as long as he doesn't throw 2 interceptions, then they're gonna win, I think.
I think they'll be running the ball more this week with Alvin Kamara, but I just like the Saints defense more than I like Tom Brady and the Bucks.
So here's the problem I'm at right now. I've talked so much shit this past week about the Saints. I literally can't take them because that's the integrity I have in
No,
this
I
podcast.
respect that, man. I
Everyone
respect
needs a
that.
little integrity.
I recommend some integrity.
Top 5 name for your penis. Integrity. There you go. Definitely gonna take the Bucks this game. Just because I have to. I don't want to, but I'm gonna take the Bucks. Gonna take the +3, and we're gonna go from there.
I'm taking the Saints. This is Drew Brees' last game in the Dome in his career. There's no way he's going out to Tom Brady, the stooge who just entered his division. You know, everyone's been hyping up Tom Brady all year. Drew Brees, he feels disrespected. He's going out on top this year. That's just my opinion. So I'm going to take the Saints, alternate spread, -6, and I'm going to take the under because I don't think there's going to be a lot of points scored, to be honest.
Saints, money line.
Damn. That's -168 right now, in case you're wondering.
Good.
Not bad. Not bad.
Bet $10 won about 8.
Hey, it's not that's
Money
gambling,
back, bro.
baby.
Money back.
Yeah. Throw that into a parlay. See what you can do.
Is there any chance we see Jameis Winston in this game?
I sure as hell hope so.
Listen, Taysom Hill is kind of banged up right now. Like his knee got fucked up last week against the Bears, so I don't know how much he's going to be used. So if Drew Brees would get injured, you would see Jameis Winston because he is the backup if Drew Brees gets hurt.
Okay, can I reserve my pick then? If Jameis Winston plays one full quarter, the Saints will win 1,000%.
If Jameis Winston plays a full quarter, I am going to try to cash out all my money because they're going to lose.
No, dude, they wouldn't lose. Why would you think they'd lose?
He's going to throw
He's like a-
interceptions, bro.
Dude,
Dude, he's like a 500 quarterback. He'll throw just as many touchdowns as he will
He's
throw
going to eat
interceptions.
some W's,
Okay?
bro.
Eat some W's, throwing INTs. That's all of Jameson's fucking quota.
Just
Those
imagine
W's.
how fucking electric it will be whenever it's like the third quarter. Drew Brees got fucking hit hard. Okay, he's out for a little bit. Here comes in Jameis.
Jameis
And
Winston
he
comes
just-
in, drops back, throws a perfect spiral right to the Saints' middle linebacker.
Yeah, the Saints middle linebacker. I like that idea because the Saints middle linebacker is playing on offense this time.
Yeah, it's a trick play.
I mean, the Bucks middle linebacker. You know what I mean?
No way. Dude, Jameis coming in would be like poetry. Just silencing the Bucks. Like that'd be the biggest fuck you. Like you brought in Tom Brady to replace me. Like I'm gonna fucking end your playoff hopes right here, bro.
Him,
Oh yeah, that's it. It's a revenge game. I didn't even think about that. It's
Exactly.
the fucking revenge game.
Imagine that shit playing out. That would be insane.
However, can I bring this up? I don't think Michael Thomas would know what to do because he is so used to running like 5 yards and catching a pass.
How did I
don't
know?
think he.
How did I know that you're gonna throw some dig on MT? You know,
No. I'm not saying that's more of a dig at Drew Brees than it is at Michael Thomas. I'm just saying I don't think he'll know what to do because he's never allowed to run more than like 10 yards before catching the ball.
He caught like a 30-yard pass last.
All right, one time does not beat my generalization.
let's put some money on it. I'm sure there's a line somewhere for the longest Michael Thomas catch. Longest
Let me
play.
look. Let me look.
Gotta be somewhere, you know.
Michael Thomas.
Lucas, that's a pretty nice hoodie you got on there.
You like this? It's called Grogu Smiles, and it makes me smile.
It makes me smile too. Grogu's the man.
Michael Thomas, longest reception, 23.5.
I'd take the over on that.
But see, here's the problem: is that's not air yards. That's just
Catch and
catching
run.
and running it.
Right.
So he could be. I'm not saying he can't catch a 5-yard slant and run it 30 yards.
Exactly.
I'm not saying that at all.
Wait, what are the odds on that?
Minus 126 for the over, minus 102 for the under.
Bro, I would probably throw $100 on that over, right?
Let's go.
Literally, I might. What site's that
Dude.
on?
No, think about it.
FanDuel, dude.
Dude, that's on
Sleep on
FanDuel.
it. Do it tomorrow.
Nah, Chance, you don't have to think about it, dude. Just post a screenshot on Twitter whenever you do that. That's all I want to see.
My Dogecoin, I gotta earn back some money after I bought that shit.
So we'll see what happens. I hope Jameis gets in.
I do too.
That's who the Steelers should
Honestly.
sign. Sign Jameis.
I want Matty Stafford.
I would kill
Yeah, but-
for Matt Stafford.
Yeah, but he is under contract, isn't he?
So
He could demand that he wants cut. Fuck it.
I just think no. You got to go completely. You got to go Jameis Winston. Just
Nah,
imagine
I don't
getting behind him.
want
Imagine the podcast we could have just bitching about how great Jameis is the one week. And then how fucking terrible he is
Jameis
the
literally
next
hasn't
week.
done anything since his 30 for 30 season. Like I have no idea what he could do. I don't want to take the chance. I just
Yeah, the
want.
30 for 30 season was 2 years ago, though.
Yeah, but he didn't do anything this year. He literally sat on the bench all season, other than one half where he got in.
Because Sean Payton hates anything more than 5-yard slants. It's that simple. He doesn't like either 5-yard slants or having a quarterback run directly into the offensive line for some sort of trick play
True.
with Taysom Hill.
Their kicker is he's got the yips, so they might be going for it a lot this week.
See, +3. Love it all day. All right, boys. That's the super divisional round weekend.
Super.
Is there anything else we wanted to cover today? Anything we wanted to talk about? Mental health break. Let's just think about it.
You want to talk about good old Mandalorian?
I'm down to talk about it. You guys want to talk about the Mandalorian?
I'm itching to talk some Mandalorian. We can talk some general Star Wars show, Disney Plus Star Wars show, whatever you want to talk about. You know, there's all kinds of news people
Lucas?
might not be aware of.
maybe next episode.
Lucas,
All right, Lucas wants
I didn't
Lucas
prepare
wants to save it for
it.
next
Lu-
episode.
Lucas wants to tease it. He wants to little tease.
Yeah.
I understand.
All right, so here's the
And we
tease.
just got pizza delivered like 20 minutes ago, so I'm anxious.
Okay, well that makes sense then. So here's the tease. Next episode, we're gonna recap Super Divisional Round Weekend. We're gonna talk some Mandalorian Season 2. Get caught up on it. We'll all do a little refresher, do a little homework. Maybe we'll talk about other stuff that Disney has cooking in the Star Wars universe.
A lot of shows.
We all like that?
A lot of shows. I like
Nice.
that.
I see some head nods all around the table, so we're good to go. We're going to end the episode on that one then. Thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Appreciate it.
watching. Thanks for watching the first episode. We're going to be getting back on to Spotify and Google Play here soon, working out the details. I got fucked up in my email accounts, multiple emails going every which way.
Molly got fucked up. Molly got him
Did you guys
fucked
see
up.
those?
No, I didn't.
Okay. I was worried that you guys would see my trash tier emails that I was sending to
No.
that one website. I got embarrassed for a second, but it's all right. So we're working towards that. Also up on our YouTube channel, our friend Evan. Shout out to Evan. He
Shout
did
out, Evan.
highlight episodes from our trash tier days. Definitely worth a listen to. There's a lot of stuff in there.
We had
We have
live
said a lot of-
guests. We had guests.
We'll have to bring some
happened.
guests back. We'll bring guests back. Don't
Oh,
worry.
it'd be super easy to bring guests.
So, but we had some fucking takes a year and a half ago. You know that, right?
A lot of those takes came true. You know, we were right.
What was that?
I don't know,
Maybe.
like
Ah,
Lev Bell,
Lev
Lev
Bell,
Bell
ah.
not doing anything in New York, and AB being a fucking stooge.
I'm just saying, it's worth a listen just to see what we said 2 years ago and how either right or how fucking wrong we were. So definitely give those a listening to. Shout out to Evan once again for doing that out of the kindness of his own heart. And thank you for listening, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Peace.